So I just finished ending A of NieR Replicant, and what just happened? um, yeah, so a lot of information was provided to us. And before we continue on, I just want to put down my theories and my thought, like the way I'm thinking the story is gonna go before we carry on, because there's a lot of moving parts here. So I just want to jump right into this. Okay, so here's a couple of notes or key points that I want to kind of go over. So Kaine at the end says she has something to go do, which I don't really know what it could be, unless she was just saying she had something to do to sort of give us time, our named character and Yona, but can't really throw it out. Also, there's a lot of Kaine stuff that we still haven't really explored. Like, there was a whole thing of her grandmother and that shade that she was hunting. So, I mean, maybe it won't even be explained, but that's just where I'm at with Kaine. Emil. So, ending A, Emil sadly dies. So, yeah, we sort of want him alive. He's literally the best boy, so he needs to survive. We need to find a way to get him to live. I think Emil's story is pretty explained at this stage. It's a good story. I just can't think of anything more really to add other than he lives. So yeah, okay. There was one thing actually. I guess I can get down to this when I get down here, but I'll bring us back up. So the three big names in the room: Yona, our named character, and Shadow Lord. So we've learned at the end that the true humans have essentially died, and they had, what was it, Project, I can never say his name, Gestalt, which it wasn't really explicitly stated, but pretty much what I imagine has happened is that the humans have taken their souls, and the plan was to put the souls into shells, as they call it. So I think that's what the Shadow Lord and named character were trying to get to do. Well, Shadow Lord took our Yona and then put his Yona soul into our Yona. That makes sense. Yeah, it's a bit whoa, okay. Yeah, and then on the topic of shells and shades, we ourselves are a shell. Like, I don't really know what that, like, that sounds man-made, but they didn't really, they just sort of said you're not human, so man-made, so not too sure what the difference will be, like if we're, like, I don't know, stronger or weaker, or well, whatever way we were made in the way to get rid of or be resilient to this black scroll, from what I can tell. But then Yona, our Yona, has the black scroll, so then there's like there's a bit of questioning going on there as well. Yeah, so just I say true humans. Yeah, just the true humans in general. We only, well, the true humans are the shades, from what I've been told by the story, which is a bit concerning because we've been killing shades the entire game. Also, like, that would like bring up a lot of points. Like, I still can't really think of it, but like the big kaiju battle on the beach, the fisherman was, or not the fisherman, the postman was saying like we couldn't be together or whatever. So then it makes me think maybe not everyone is like a shell. Maybe like that postman and like that village and the majority of the people are actually like true humans, and it's just like a specific amount of people who are shells. It was very weirdly worded when Devil and Popola were talking. It's like everyone in this room isn't human. I feel like that's a weird way to go about it, because like she could have just said everyone you've met could just not be human, but just whatever way they've said it is a bit, it raised a bit of questions for me. Yeah. So Devil and Popola, I say like literally about 4 minutes before the reveal, I was like, Vice did say, like, someone sending us on this path to the area to potentially be killed, and the only person really that did that was Popola. But other than that, like, that was really shocking. Like, I was like, what? So yeah, I hope we get to learn more about Devil and Popola, because they seemed like they were on the good side. But from our point of view, very clearly in the bad side. So that'll be interesting to see if we get any more information on Devil and Pep Popola. And then two that we just have not got their stories, so I feel like there's not a whole lot of theory crafting that can be done for this. But Vice and NieR. My best guess is that the true humans, through Project Gestalt, took their, like, the souls and somehow put them in these books as like a storage. I don't know how true or how like very off base that could be, but I mean, it's just like they can use magic and the shades can use magic, and it would kind of make a little bit of sense. And then NieR and Devil and Popola were calling Vice a traitor because I guess he was helping us, the named character, who is a shell and not a true human. So there's maybe a bit of truth to it, but still up in the air. Also, Vice sounded very robotic towards the end for a book. There's a bit of, I don't know how to explain that, unless he's a robot, or I don't know I don't know. That'll be a big, I think this is a big point of the story that I just cannot figure out yet. But hopefully the game will tell me, because that's very interesting. And yeah, I think that might be it. I think, I feel like Yona might have a bigger part than that she realizes, or that we realize. I feel like something between Yona and the Black Scroll. I still am on that train line of why is she so important? And going on that, why is Devil and Popola on the Shadow Lord's side? It just seems like they know something, that something's going on. Like they were very on board of our Yona pretty much being sacrificed for the Shadow Lord's Yona. So yeah, that's about it for my theories. I have noticed there is 5 endings, I believe. There's A, B, C, D, and E. And I have looked up like very spoiler-free like ways to get them. So for B, we just play the game again, essentially. I'm not too sure about that, but it's just pretty straightforward apparently. C and D require all the weapons, so I need to start getting all the weapons. Hopefully I can get them all in, I guess, Route B. I feel like I've got a lot of them, so hopefully it's not too much of a challenge. And for C and D, it was very weird. It was very spoiler free, but it was saying that save before the final boss battle, and it'll be 2 choices. For C, you pick the top one. For D, you pick the bottom one. But once you do C, you want to do C first. Pick the top option and save in a new, like, save file. So like you'll have 2, which what? But I haven't really looked into it, so that'll be interesting. And then E just sort of said play the game, although it did say rename your character a different name or something, so that's a bit weird. But again, I don't really know what that could entail. So yeah, I think we should crack on and begin Route B now. Let's go. And we are back. Just about to begin Route B of NieR Replicant. Haven't even loaded the file yet, so I feel like we should just jump into it. See what Route B has in store for us. Be interesting to see how this works. Like, will we start at the start of the game?
Whenever I interacted with Kaine, I was reminded about something from my past. Maybe my mind has been confusing her with my sister this whole time. Anyway...
It's new, I think. Is it new? Oh no, okay, we were just skipping past us getting Emil's power back. Well, power. Kaine's dream discrimination. The sound of rain filled the village. The steep cliffs that surround the area magnified sound, causing even the slightest drizzle to rattle like a thunderstorm. Thin wisps of smoke streamed from huts as the villagers huddled in their homes and waited out the rain. A single child, however, had braved the downpour and was now wandering slowly towards the wooden hawk-shaped weather vane at the centre of town. The wanderer reached the vane. Vane? Van? I'm not too sure how to say that word. Which had existed for as long as any could remember, and stirred. The child's face was it's gonna be one of those days. Simultaneously, wow, that is a word I am struggling with. Delicate and fierce, like a teacup that had survived a shipwreck. Those traits combined with pale white skin to give the face of almost sexless quality. If the beak turns east, I go home. If it stays west, then I... The child blinked. Rain slowly dripped down the young... Wow, that was loud. Rain slowly dripped down the young one's short hair and began its long descent to the ground. Come on. Come on. The child felt a slight breeze and watched as the vane... Well, this word has came up twice now, so now I need to check. Vane. Okay. Watched as the vane slowly creaked to life, spinning this way and that. For a moment, it finally settled with the beak pointing firmly to the east, or towards the east. East? Really? Before the vane could move again, a jagged rock came spinning and tumbling through the air, striking home against the child's head. The force of the blow dropped the child to the ground as a hail of stones began to fall all around. Oh no, they found me. I'm assuming this is Kaine. A heartbreaking smile crept across the child's face as the stones continued their assault. Through the rain, the sound of multiple footsteps grew louder before a voice rang out. Yoo-hoo, Kaine. The voice belonged to Daimo? Worst of all the bullies in the area. As Kaine struggled to stand, a final stone came skittering through the mud and bounced against her foot. Blood oozed from a cut above her eye and blurred her vision, but she could make out the shapes of Daimo. I'm gonna say it's Daimo. Or Demo. It's gonna be one of these again. And his usual gang of idiots. The boy seemed taken aback for a moment by Kaine's seemingly indifference to the blood dripping from her face, but quickly regained his bravado. What's up, freak? You like the rain? You like getting all wet, or did you finally decide to run away from home? Though she knew it was futile, Kaine turned to leave. Before she could get more than a few steps, the other children scrambled to surround her, cruelty burning in their eyes. Kaine knew those were not the only eyes on her. The tormentor's parents watched from the safety of their homes. She was attuned to this sensation. It was one she had experienced many times before. While some villagers simply turned a blind eye to the actions of their children, many encouraged it openly. What the fuck? In a society ruled by superstition and fear, Kaine was something to be hated and, if possible, destroyed. Is this because of her... that still hasn't really been explained. She's like a hybrid. Or like she is a shade and she isn't a shade, so... I wonder will we get to explore that a bit more. I didn't say you could leave, freak. Daimo's words chewed at her like a worm through an apple. He can't hurt me, she lied to herself. Be strong, be brave. He can't hurt me, he can't hurt me, he can't hurt. Oh look, this little freak is gonna cry. What's wrong? Are you sad that everyone hates you and wants you to, I mean, yeah. Kaine prayed for the rain to flood down and carry her away from a world that seemed to have no place for her. But if there were gods, they chose to ignore her. As Daimo crept ever closer, the clouds began to thin and the rain slowed. Even the weather hates me. I'm useless. A failure. I wish Daimo's rock had taken my head off. Jeez. Kaine couldn't meet Daimo's leering gaze. She lowered her eyes and stared at the muddy ground below. The bully moved forwards until he was inches away. She could smell the scent of old meat on his breath. Old meat? That's okay. The boy grabbed Kaine's face with thick fingers and yanked it upwards. She tried to turn away, but he forced her gaze back and jammed his thumb against her eyelids to pry it open. Show me. What? No. Did you just say no? Daimo grinned evilly. You don't say no to me. No one says no to me. Not even taking his attention from... Have we met this person? Because we need... If we're not, we need to pay this guy a visit. He called to his cohorts. Come on, guys. Let's give this freak what she deserves. As soon as he finished, kicks and blows began to rain down upon Kaine. Is that meant to be, like... There's a lot of, like... fadas and stuff. Or not fadas, but you know... little symbols above Kaine's name there. Daimo paused. She grinned. Still grinning, as Kaine curled into a ball and tried to make the pain stop. I don't get you, freak. What you acting like a girl for, huh? Everyone knows what you really are. Kaine ignored the question, choosing instead to stare at the weather vane. It continued to point east, as if supremely confident about the future it had chosen for her. Go home? Yeah, that's a funny joke for someone with dead parents and no home to go to. Jeez. Freak, chanted the children. Freak, freak, freak. Kaine closed her eyes and listened to the rain, waiting for the pain to start again. As the clutching hands of the village children closed around her, she bent her mind to the sound of the rain, letting it become her world entire. The rain fell, but the pain never came. Only when the laughter of her tormentors turned to terrified cries did she dare open a single blood-caked eye. Kaine was shocked to see Daimo sprawled on the ground, holding his head and screaming in pain. She could see blood welling from space between his fat, twisted fingers. Oh my god, he's crying. He's actually crying. Deprived of their leader, the other children glanced back and forth between themselves, as if waiting for someone to step forward and take charge. When no savior emerged, they began an uneasy shuffle away from Kaine, but the young girl was the least of their concerns. Instead, their attention was wrapped on the ancient woman standing a few feet away. After struggling for breath for a moment, she finally spoke in a voice thick with rage. Hurts like a bitch, don't it? Oh, I wonder if this is where Kaine got her grammar from. Now I suggest you scatter before I throw another one. And if any of you little bastards ever touch my Kaine again, I'll do far worse than throw a rock. You can count on it. This must be the granny. Or, yeah, she mentioned a granny. The old woman crouched down and gently touched the hand Daimo was using to cover his wound. Before he could think to protest, she ground her palm into the wound and twisted back and forth. Ow! He screamed, leaping to his feet. Stop it, what are you doing? Quit whining. Ain't no one ever died from a scratch. You hit me with a rock, you stupid bitch. A big one. That thing could have killed me. The old woman shrugged. Death is the best cure for stupid. Wow. I mean, this guy deserves this, so it's hard to sympathize with this guy. Daimo's face twisted with rage at her words, locking his eyes on Kaine. He took a step backwards and spat on the ground. Get out. Leave this village. No one wants you here, either of you. Seeing the old lady grab another stone, Daimo and his companions turned tail and ran. As they fled, the old woman grabbed her side and barked at a single laugh. Look at the fat boy go. Guess he's healthy enough to run from a fight. The woman's smile faded as she turned her attention to Kaine. Kneeling down, she removed her shawl and placed it around the young girl's shoulders, then produced a cloth from the folds of her dress and began blotting at the bleeding on her forehead. Oh, Kaine, she said, why didn't you fight back? You're stronger than that lot. The words of her grandmother stung Kaine, and she turned away. Don't be nice to me, she said. I don't deserve it. Nothing titanium particles and vanish, seemingly taken away on the breeze. Kaine's dreams, daily life. Well, that was a lot. Oh, we're not done yet. Okay. In the distance, Kaine heard the steady sounds of an axe striking wood. The noise had a powerful or purposeful quality to it, as if she was hearing a master woodsman go about his work. The firewood being produced, however, was far more from a work of art as could be. Pieces of every shape and size were being flung about a barren yard with wild abandon. Anyone trying to stack such wood would probably die of frustration before the job was through. Stupid piece of shit axe. Oh well, she's definitely caught it from her. Kaine's grandmother flailed away with the axe, filling the air with both splinters of wood and words that would make the most hardened sailors blush. Grandma, called Kaine. That you, Kaine? Yelled the old woman, taking her eyes off the wood for a moment. Don't get too close or I might take your goddamn foot off by mistake. She brought the axe down on a piece of wood, sending chips flying in every direction. One spun past Kaine close enough for her to hear the whistle, at which point she decided to step back. Once she scuttled to a safe distance, she cupped her hands around her mouth and shouted, Grandma, do you need help? I can get you water or lunch or a new axe or something. The axe poised to strike another wobbly blow paused amid her. The old woman considered her granddaughter's offer for a moment and smiled. Tell you what, since I'm doing such a piss poor job at chopping, why don't you come here and take over so I can go get some water? Shades have been restless lately, and I don't want you running into one of them bastards. Relinquishing the axe, her grandmother picked up a long pole with wooden buckets on either end. Gathering water was by far the more difficult of the two jobs, but Kaine knew better than to complain. Once Grandma's mind was set, there was no change in it. Kaine did her best to help with chores, but Grandma took every task that required travel to the village. Though she had a long list of I'm wondering, is this where we meet Kaine for the first time, like in that crevice just beside the Eyrie? Though she had a long list of plausible excuses, Kaine knew the real reason. She didn't want her granddaughter to be taunted and harassed by the villagers. Once Kaine moved in, Grandma decided to take up residence a good distance from the area. Okay, maybe not. Out of sight, out of mind seemed to be the best policy when it came to the villagers and her granddaughter. And rare were the days when any but the two of them could be found on the rocky acre of land they called home. Kaine enjoyed the solitude, but harbored a secret resentment that her grandmother was forced to spend her golden years in such a place. After watching her grandmother leave, Kaine turned her attention to the task at hand. She never chopped wood before in her life, and soon discovered why the old woman hated the chore. Swing after swing of the axe produced only a tiny crack in the wood, and when she finally managed to connect with a solid stroke, the tool embedded itself in the log and refused to budge. She ain't too good at this. Frustrated, Kaine swung the axe around her head and threw it, log and all, across the yard. She suddenly understood the joy of her grandmother belting a good curse. Happier now, she picked up the axe, forced it from the wood, and resumed chopping. She had a natural skill with a blade, but the task was challenging, and blisters soon began to form on her small pink hands. This is tough. My logs are all weird sizes. Sitting on her palms and ignoring the pain, Kaine redoubled her efforts. Redoubled? I've never heard that word before. Redoubled. Weird. Just as she was developing a rhythm, Grandma returned from the village, setting down her buckets with a small sigh and took one look at the logs and coughed at a wheezy laugh. Pretty clumsy, girl. You better practice if you... Her grandma suddenly collapsed to her knees, causing one of the buckets to wobble precarious. Why am I like this? Precariously. I cannot... Why can I say that word? I can say it in my head, but I can't say it out loud. Eyes wide, Kaini dropped the axe and ran to her grandmother's side. Grandma. The old woman shook her head and pointed a trembling finger at the bucket. Get the bucket, can't let it spill. Kaini steadied the bucket with a foot as she knelt by her grandmother. A small bit of water slooshed over the side and made a new home in the hem of her dress. But Kaini didn't notice. Grandma, what's happening? Crazed with panic, she grabbed her grandmother by her shoulders and shook. After a moment, the woman lifted her arms and batted Kaini away. Stop that. Just stop, she cried, breathing heavily. It ain't like I'm dying. Just tired from the trip is all. Kaini desperately wanted to believe her, but one look at the old woman's shaking hands and worn face told her more than words ever could. Her grandmother had lived a long, hard life, and it seems the bill was finally coming due. The time when her grandmother watched over Kaini was ending, sooner than either of them had feared. The positions would be reversed. Wait, what? The time when her grandmother watched over Kaini was ending. The positions would be reversed. Oh, okay, right. The next morning, Kaini came to the side of her grandmother's bed and took her wrinkled hand. Grandma, you're sick and you need medicine. I'm going to the village. The old woman shook her head and tried to rise, but Kaini gently pushed her down. It's all right, she said. I'll be fine. Her grandmother fixed her with a gaze that could melt steel. After what seemed an eternity, she finally lowered her eyes and sighed. Well, I don't like it, goddammit. I guess I should have quit being so stubborn and let you grow up. The old woman watched as Kaini strapped on her boots and made her way down the road to the village. Hours later, as an unseen sun made its way across a dark and rainy sky, she was still watching. Kaini moved at a brisk pace, checking her pockets every few minutes to make sure the money her grandmother gave her was still there. Every noise caused her to spin on her heels, making sure she wasn't being stalked by a shade, or worse, Daimo and his gang. But she encountered neither tormentor nor shade, and Kaini finally found herself at the entrance to the village. The few adults she could see glanced sideways at her, then muttered to each other before or behind raised hands before slinking away into the shadows. Her heart racing, Kaini took a series of rapid, shallow breaths and tried to calm herself. I have to prove myself and I have to help Grandma. I have to be strong. She chanted those words to herself over and over as she slowly made her way. Finally, her eyes settled on a rotund older woman who was angrily waving her arms in the air and telling anyone who would listen exactly what she thought of Kaini's presence. Hey lady, said Kaini, with a bravado she did not feel. Where's the apocryphy? The woman's flabby cheeks shook in bewildered anger. How dare this thing speak to me? They seemed to say, but Kaini saw that her eyes held a different emotion, fear. Yeah, we're both scared, lady. Trust me on this one. Which way? Kaini repeated. The woman pointed at a small building to her right before hitching up her dress and stumbling off in the other direction. Kaini cringed. Expecting a stone to come flying from the assembled crowd, but none came. Her mind was filled with a strange sense of pride as she made her way to the apocryphy. But the new emotion had little time to take root, for as soon as she opened the door, she noticed a familiar customer at the counter. It was Daimo. He'd clearly been sent here on some kind of family errand, because his gang of followers were nowhere to be found. Oh my god, he sputtered. What are you doing here, freak? The insult was delivered without force, and Kaini happily ignored it. Stretching on tiptoes to see over the counter, she asked the shopkeeper for the medication. Barked Daimo. That old bitch finally kneel over? Go to hell, Daimo. The boy's eyes grew so wide he seemed ready to fall out of his head, but before he could let fly a comeback or worse, a punch. The apocryphy told them to knock it off before he kicked them out of the store. Daimo slunk out of the shop, or Daimo, I cannot get his name right, cursing Kaini under his breath. Once he was gone, she allowed herself to breathe once more, taking a brief tour of the shop while the owners prepared her medication. Countless tiny bottles filled the cramped store, each with a label written in some indescribable language. Indecipherable language, sorry. An ocean of aromas assaulted her nose, creating a scent that was exotic, but not altogether unpleasant. Seeing such a variety of supplies gave Kenny a sense of peace. Surely in a world so vast there would be a place that she could call home. On the far wall behind the counter rested a portrait of a stunning young girl. The picture had once contained bright, vibrant colours, but time had worked its cruel magic, and they were beginning to fade. The beauty of the work, however, remained undiminished. You like that picture? Kaine turned to find the apocryphy with a small vial of medicine in his hand. His eyes were gentle but sad, and they seemed to stare through her and into nothing as she spoke. That's my daughter. I sketched it when she was just a little girl. She's been dead a long time now. Kaine didn't know how to respond. She just stared at the portrait and tried to come up with the right words. Pictures are wonderful things, continued the shopkeeper. They let the ones closest to you live on forever. He shook his head slightly, and looked down at Kaine and smiled. Handing her the medicine, he reached into his sizable green apron and produced a handful of old wax crayons. You should have these. There's no one left that I wish to draw. It's kind of sad. Kaine took an instinctive step back, causing the shopkeeper's face to darken. Yes, I've heard the rumours about you, he said. It's a small village and words travel quickly. Between you and me, I'm not sure which of them to believe, but I also don't think they matter much. I know your grandmother, Callie? And I think the way she was driven out of this town is just deplorable. Grandma's name is Callie? Or Kaylee? Kaylee? Well, let me just... I think this is going to be an important name. Callie. Okay. Callie. Grandma's name is Callie, thought Kaine suddenly. She was still mulling this new fact over in her mind as she reached out and gently took the crayons from the apocryphary's hands. Your grandmother is an old friend of mine, he said as Kaine scooted away yet again, and I owe her much. I wager she would like it if you drew a picture of her. Yes, I think she would like that very much. Kaine murmured a quiet agreement, but inside her heart was bursting. Never before had a villager treated her with anything but complete contempt. It was a tiny, almost imperceptible step, but it was a step nonetheless, and with enough tiny steps she might one day discover the rest of the world. When Kaine returned home, she found her grandmother asleep in her bed. Her feet were blackened and raw, even bleeding a bit in places, leading Kaine to think that she had been pacing around the room until exhaustion finally caught up with her. She placed the medicine by her grandmother's pillow and turned to leave, but found the old woman's hands clasping around her arm. Back already, are you? Asked her grandmother with a yawn. Come here, let me have a look at you. Grandma sat up and examined Kaine from head to toe. Finally satisfied that nothing terrible had befallen her grandchild, she leaped back and allowed herself to relax. Oh. Well, how was it? Those bastards give you any trouble? It was kind of fun, said Kaine with a small smile. No, seriously, it was. Fun, eh? Asked the grandmother in a voice which implied she believed anything but. Uh-huh, so anytime you need me to run an errand, just let me know. As she spoke, Kaine removed the crayons from her pocket. After a brief explanation of the source, she informed her grandmother that she was going to sketch her portrait. A portrait of me? Ridiculous, no one wants to stare at a wrinkled old crone. Does Kaine have any portrait? I don't remember any. Unless I've missed this. But Grandma, I'll make you live forever. Horse shit, said the grandma, throwing back the sheet from her bed. Living forever would just piss me off, and I put those crayons away and help with dinner. But Kaine would not relent, and in the end, Grandma forced herself leaning against the wall of their house as a poison for a master artist. Posing, sorry. Kenny took up the crayons, eyed her subject carefully, and set to work. Just as her grandmother was about to nod off, Kenny finished the piece. After staring at it for a bit, she realized it. She released it from her grip and let it slowly drift to the floor. It's terrible. It doesn't look like you at all. I'm sorry, Grandma. I thought these crayons would, make drawing easy or something. The old woman's eyes narrowed at her granddaughter's disappointment. Let me be the judge of that, she said, ignoring the pain in her back and reaching out for the paper. The sketch could have been a person's face. It also could have been a boulder, a lump of clay, or an incredibly misshaped loaf of bread, all rendered in a chaotic array of colours. The old woman stared at the picture for a long time, then slowly wheezed out a laugh. "Oh, Kenny," she said between laughter, "you truly are my blood. You were as clumsy as me, and I love it." But hush, I won't hear any more bull about how ugly you think it is. It came from the heart, and I'll treasure it always. True to her word, the old woman gave the picture a place of honor above the kitchen table. Okay, so maybe this isn't where I thought it was. I don't remember a kitchen being in that wee shack. In the days that followed, Kenny would often catch her staring at the portrait with a strange smile on her face, an action she interpreted as silent, mocking laughter. A week later, Kenny could stand it no more and asked her grandmother to take the artwork down. "Posh," said the old woman. "I'll take this down when they roll me in the shroud." She pondered this for a bit, then turned to Kenny and dropped to one knee. "Listen to me, girl. Seeing this picture makes me happy in a way I've never felt before. And it makes me want to go on, so that someday you can feel the same happiness." It was a moment that burned itself in Kenny's memory, a perfect blend of pride and love and joy. They came together to form a lifelong remembrance. She swore to never forget this moment, to never forget the old woman who had made her place in the world possible. Time moves on. People and memories move in and out of life like ghosts passing through a hall. But this moment will be different, Kenny swore, because I will remember it forever. Forever. Kenny's dreams separation. My goodness, we're getting more. My throat is going to be dry as a bone after this. My goodness. It is good though. It's good to. I did exactly what I wanted actually. I wanted to know what this grandma thing was. Now it's just, where does it go wrong? Obviously she must die. So I guess we'll find out. Kenny listened to the sound of crackling firewood and stared at the black object of her plate. Black object on her plate. Sorry, what am I reading here? She'd been pushing it around the wooden discs for a good 10 minutes, ignoring the bemused stare of her grandmother. Finally, she summoned her courage and gave the object a brief sniff. A sharp, bitter scent flew up her nostrils and made its home there, causing her face to twist with disgust. "Grandma, I can't believe you want me to eat a bug." The old man threw some more wood under the cooking pot and snorted. "It's no bug, you fool girl, it's a berry." Why the hell would I be feeding bugs? I was about to say, what? Yeah, well, it sure looks like a bug, said Kenny, and I think it's burnt or something because it smells terrible. With that, Kenny held her nose and threw the berry in her mouth, chewing as little as possible. "Oh yeah, that's terrible, all right." "Why, you little brat," laughed the old woman. "Look at the sass on you. You've been spending too much time with me, and that's a fact." 5 years had passed since the moment when Kenny's grandmother saved her from the bullies. It's been 5 years. Wow. As is often the way with two stubborn people, their relationship had grown in fits and starts. Fits and starts? I've never heard of that term before. But moved forward all the same. Meals that used to be somber affairs were now filled with laughter and hurled abuse in equal measure. Okay, so literally it's just the Kenny we know now. Kenny could not remember a time when she had been happier. As the years went by, Kenny started to shoulder more and more of the daily responsibilities. Her grandmother's legs grew weaker by the day, and she could no longer do many of the chores she used to take for granted. And so this morning found Kenny lacing up her work boots with a breakfast of burnt berry rolling through her belly. A breakfast of burnt berry rolling. Oh, okay. Where are you going today? Asked Grandma suddenly. Kinda looked up, surprised. The old woman rarely asked for specifics anymore. Well, I was gonna check out the Kalma trees and see if they were ripe. I thought we could make some jam or something. Oh, and I'm going to pick up some flagstones, so I need to take the wheelbarrow. Flagstones? What the hell for? Tiny stared at her grandmother and held out her arm and swept it around their home. Construction, mostly, of cloth, rope, and rubble. The old place sagged like a box turned the final round. Grandma, a dying cat could chew through this house. I'm going to build a stone wall so we have some protection. The old woman laughed, exposing her toothless grin to the world. God damn, girl. If a bunch of thieves want to ransack this old place, let them come. We got nothing worth stealing anyway. I'm not worried about thieves, I'm worried about shades. People saw one west of the village yesterday. The old woman tilted her head and stared at her granddaughter. Well, shoot, I don't know why you have to do it today. We can worry about it some other... Grandma, no. If I don't go to the Kalma trees, we won't eat tonight, you know that. A confused expression passed across the old woman's face, and for a moment, she was a small child lost at a carnival. Oh, she got like dementia or something? Or what's happened here? Yes, she said after a bit. Yes, of course, you're right, I'm sorry. Kinda. Lately I see my mind is... She didn't finish the thought, instead walking over to her nightstand and gently taking the wreath of lunar tears from the drawer. The flower's petals had aged to a brilliant whiteness, and Kinda thought it was more beautiful now than the day she first received it. This must be where I'm thinking then, because I'm pretty sure the lunar tears, like the white necklace thing. What's the word they used to describe it? Wreath? Yeah, there's like one like hung up on like the wall. You're gonna be a true one soon, Grandma said as she placed the flowers in the girl's hair. So that means less chatter about shades and building defenses and more talk about how beautiful you've become. Annoyed, Kinda reached up to remove the garland, but the look on her grandma's face stopped her hand. You're a beautiful thing, said the old woman, and there ain't another like you in all the world. I'm very proud of you. Okay, Grandma, that's enough. Goddamn compliments for one day. She got such a mouth on you. Where did that come from? Gee, I wonder. I'll teach you to snass me, girl, yelled Grandma. Suddenly, she lurched forward and grabbed Kiney by the ears, pulling her around the room with a crazed grin on her face. Grandma? Yelled Kiney in a quaking voice. Grandma, stop it. What the hell? The old woman stared at her and blinked and slowly held her wrinkled hands out as if it was the first time she had ever seen them. Oh, I don't know what happened there. I'm sorry, girl. Sometimes my mind just... Kiney thought the look on her grandma's face was the most heartbreaking thing she had ever seen. Listen, she began. Maybe I should stay home after all. No, I won't have you stay here to keep an eye on an old codger? It's just expanding my language today. You can go and get your fruit and your wall and whatnot. I'll be fine. And when you come back, I'll have a nice grasshopper dinner waiting for you. Kiney rolled her eyes, then kissed her grandmother on the forehead and made ready to depart, trying desperately to ignore the worry that was gnawing on the walls of her heart. Kiney could feel the old woman's eyes watching her as she moved through the path. Don't turn around, she told herself, but in the end, the temptation was too great. She spun on her heel for one final look and saw a small bent woman standing in front of a ramshackle hut, with a sad expression on her face. God, she looks so old now. It's like the wind could reach down and just carry her away. Kiney worried about her grandmother all day, causing her work to suffer. What little fruit she could collect was tossed carelessly into the wheelbarrow, and she only found a couple of stones before losing interest in the project. Finally, as dusk approached, she decided to call it a day. Cursing herself for the lack of focus, Kiney pushed the nearly empty wheelbarrow back down the path. As she crested the final hill, she suddenly froze in place. The wheelbarrow fell from her fingers and collapsed on its side, sending a few pieces of wrinkled brown fruit rolling back down the hill. Her gaze was transfixed by a thick black cloud that hovered just ahead. Tracing his path with a finger, Kaini suddenly felt her stomach knot in on itself. Oh gods, no. Her grandmother's house was ablaze, the flames licking up as if trying to touch the sky itself. Grandma? Grandma? Kaini ran then, faster than she had ever moved in her life. Once she tripped on a stone and went sprawling into the rocky ground, but she leapt to her feet and continued running, unmindful of the blood that spilled from her wounded hands and knees. As she got closer and closer, Kaini's mind began to race in time with her footfalls. It's too dark. It's too dark. Not just fire. Can't be fire. Too much smoke. Gotta save her, gotta save her. She burst into the front yard and came to a sudden halt. Her worst suspicions confirmed. The smoke from the fire was mingling with the thick, inky blackness of an enormous shade. That must be the one we fought in the area. The massive creature supported itself on 3 twisted feet and achieved balance through means of a large and armored tail. Scales, horns, and claws spread from its body in a random, chaotic pattern, giving it the appearance of a lizard designed by some insane god. Seeing Kaini, it let out a roar and flicked its tail, sending small whirlwinds spinning around the yard. For a moment, the creature retreated into a shimmering, inky blackness as if her mind was unable to comprehend that such a thing could actually exist. But then the smell hit her, a blend of rotted meat and excrement, and the horror became real once more. Blend of rotted meat? We did say the bully smelled like old meat. I'd be looking a bit too into that, but kind of cool to note. The creature bellowed again, and this time Kaini responded with a scream of her own. Alright, you bastard. I don't know why I keep giving her a southern accent. She fought as her scream echoed off the high cliffs around them. It's you or me, let's go. The shade eyed Kaini with bemusement interest. Then it began looking from her to the house and back again, as if urging her to look at the destruction it had so gleefully wrought. With dread building in her heart, Kaini glanced towards the house. Through the smoke and flames, she spotted a small figure struggling to escape the ruins. Grandma. At the sound of her voice, the old woman began waving frantically. She's alive, thought Kaini. Alive. Kaini's legs sprang to life as she raced across the yard towards the flaming wreckage of the house. Before she could advance more than a few steps, the shade opened its mouth and let out a roar powerful enough to uproot trees and send them flying. The blast sent Kaini's tumbling through the air before smashing her against the rocky earth. Stars danced in front of her eyes as she tried to remember how her legs worked. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Now. As Kaini circled to her feet, the shade stomped through the house and pinned her grandmother to the ground with the tip of a claw. The old woman struggled to move the claw from her stomach, but she might well have been pushing a mountain. She coughed briefly, sending a small spray of blood into the air, then collapsed to the ground, her energy spent. Kaini lurched to her feet, only to fall back to earth with a gasp. Her ankles were on fire, one or both of them were surely broken. Ignoring the pain that screamed through her body, she began dragging herself across the ground, leaving a drunken trail of dust and blood in her wake. Drunken trail, that's a weird adjective there. Grandma, hold on, just a little longer. Her grandmother's face was turning blue, her eyelids rolling back until only the whites were exposed. Kaini pulled herself across the ground with maddening slowness, the distance seemingly to increase with every second that passed. The shade glanced between the two women and flicked out its tongue, its giant mouth turning up at the corners. Short, panting breaths belched from somewhere deep inside its core. Bastards laughing at us. She had no idea how such a mindless creature could experience emotion, but there could be no doubt the shade was taking joy in their suffering. Yeah, I see your plan. The shade moved its claws slightly, allowing Grandma to breathe again. It was clearly keeping her alive only to snuff out her life when Kaini was close enough to touch her. I'm gonna kill this bastard. Summoning all her strength, Kaini rose to her feet. There was a sickening snap from her right ankle as the foot twisted backwards, but she forced it from her mind and began to hobble towards the monster. Pulling a small knife from the pouch of her waist, she leaped on the foot that pinned her grandmother, plunged the weapon deep. Give her back, she screamed. Give her back to me. It was like stabbing a rock. After a few swipes, the knife broke and the hilt of it belt snapped. The Shade's panted laughter again, then raised his tail and sent it rushing through the air towards the young girl that was latched on to its foot. Kaini never had a chance. The tail struck her square in the chest and sent her crashing into the burnt wreckage of the home. As she lay on the ground with blood pouring from multiple wounds, a small weak voice spoke up. Kaini? Kaini's vision blurred, but she forced herself to focus on the sound. Finally, her eyes cleared, enough for her to make out her grandmother's hands reaching out to her through the smoke. Grandma? Kaini, you gotta run. You can't best this one. Kaini grabbed the hands and held on with all her strength. Grandma, come on. We have to go. The old woman coughed loudly. One of her hands, slick with blood, slipped from Kaini's grasp and bumped to the ground below. Oh. I said run, goddammit. You have to live. You have to get through. The thought would stay forever unfinished before she could say another word. The Shade clawed foot descended, smashing through the remains of the roof and down upon the shattered figure of the old woman. Blood oozed from gaps in the creature's toes as the terrible putrid smell assaulted Kaini's nose once again. She stared at the foot, dumbfounded, convinced that what she was seeing could not possibly be real. When the creature finally lifted its appendages, all that remained underneath was a twisted, unrecognizable mass of rubble and red. Oh, that ain't good. Her grandmother was gone. Kaini blinked, trying to feel the hands which had been in hers just a moment before. For a fleeting instant she could remember the warmth of that embrace, the trembling of the fingers, but then the sensation drifted away on the breeze and was gone. Memories flashed through Kaini's mind, one after another, faster and faster until they became a meaningless jangle of noise. Kaini screamed and a thunderous sound echoed off the cliffs and seemed to roll away forever. The Shade eased forward. Black ichor pouring from its mouth and dissolving the smoke on the ground below. The earth shook with every step as it crept towards its prey. Kaini's blood slowly rose as if controlled by a mad puppet master. Her arms and legs were bent at impossible angles. Her head lolled dangerously to the side, yet somehow she managed to stand. Staring at the Shade, her eyes began to grow with a deep red fire. The creature, so confident just moments before, took a slow, hesitant step backwards, trying to discern if this broken human could possibly pose a threat. Kaini seized the moment. Laughing like a madwoman, she leapt into the air and plunged the shattered hilt of her knife deep into the leg of the Shade. The Shade shook Kaini off like a fly, sending her crashing to the earth once again. Her chest rose and fell slowly, as if great weight was resting on it. Moist sounds of pain echoed through her mind. Something warm and thick oozed from her ears. Is that blood? I think it is. I can bleed to death. No, can't die. Grandma told me to live. Deep inside Kaini's mind, something finally broke. The sound, the pain, the smoke and flames, all of it faded away until all that remained was a single incantation repeated over and over again. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it. Oh. You get the point. Kill it now. As a spark that was Kaini slowly beginning to flicker and die. That's a weird sentence. As the spark that was Kaini slowly began to flicker and die. She felt her desire to kill and her desire to live blend into one. The distance between heartbeats grew louder and longer. Oh, grew longer and longer and longer. Hey. I've read so much about you. Oh, we fighting.
The beast approaches.
Almost forgot that was up in the basement. Oh, we've got our weapon still. Yeah, we didn't know that weapon last time.
What anger this creature must have.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, okay, I do have all the
How did
weapons.
it even survive these past 5 years?
I'm not gonna let this happen again. It dies today. My sword feels lighter.
It's not the blade, but the skill of the user. Strike it down.
I have to be sure to make sure I'm catching up. Wait, I'm definitely. Yeah, okay. I was going to say, yeah, this boss is like. It's nowhere near as hard. Oh, okay. I wonder if we're continuing this path. If we're gonna, I don't remember a lot of times where we weren't strong enough to beat the boss. One definitely was the beach. We petrified Kaine for this. Wow, we annihilated it. Oh. Okay, hold on. I need to get some water. Okay, and I'm back. And I got my water. Gently, weakly, softly. The shade, sure that its tormentor was dead, turned and stomped off towards the horizon, stopping along the way to bellow one final roar. Couldn't kill it. Shame beyond imagining, Kaine tried to turn her head to the side, but only succeeded in coughing up a huge gout of blood. It was getting difficult to see, and only after a moment of fierce concentration did she realize that her left eye was gone. What? Laughing to herself, she turned her remaining eye to the ruins of her home and noticed a ragged stump of an arm resting a few feet away. Yeah, that's mine. She thought with a mad giggle. This is gonna make clapping a real pain. Yeah, okay. That's one way to look at it. So that means Kaine can, well, we sort of knew she could like regenerate from wounds, but this is kind of taking it to an extreme. Cried a sudden voice from the depths of her mind. Finally gonna die, are you? Well, you had it coming. Go to hell, Daimo, she fought at the unseen assailant. Go to hell before I pluck out your eyes and feed them to a dog. The voice of her childhood terror evaporated in the smoke, only to be replaced by another, more recent voice. Hold still, said the apocryphy. Materializing from the ruins like a ghost. I want to draw you. That way you can live forever. What? No, stop. Don't want to live forever. Want to die right here. I see, he said quietly. Well, if that's what you want. The spectral shopkeeper fluttered in and out of existence for a moment, then produced a piece of paper and sketched quickly. After a few seconds, he turned the page to Kaini and smiled. Since you rejected my offer, I decided to draw someone else. It was a picture of her grandmother, real as life. Kaini opened her mouth to thank the man, but stopped as the picture began to blacken in the middle. Before she could say anything, dozens of multi-legged insects began to swarm across the image, tearing at it with sharpened pincers. No, stop, don't hurt that picture. Kenny reached out with her remaining arm and waved futilely at the air. To her surprise, the insects fell off the picture onto the ground below, where they vanished into tiny black tendrils of smoke. Relieved, Kenny turned her good eye back to the picture, only to open her mouth in a silent scream. The sketch now showed her grandmother as she truly was, a smashed, unrecognizable lump of nothing. The apothecary smiled, then broke into a jolly dance. See that? He cried as he danced his jig. It's perfect now. She looks just like you. Ha-cha-cha-cha. What? I look like that? God, oh God, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Drowning in despair, Kenny laid her head back in the mud and smoke of her ruined house and waited for the end to come. But just before she let everything go, getting warm, an unfamiliar voice began whispering in her ear. Ain't you gonna wish, sunshine? The voice was vulgar and fierce at the same time, as if insanity had somehow found a way to take form. Kaini wanted to scream as the voice crawled under her skin, but her lungs refused to work. You know, a wish, like a prayer or something? Why don't you get on your knees and start praying to heaven? Please, invisible man in the sky, save me, save me. Kaini finally resorted to shouting at the voice with her mind. I don't make wishes, they don't come true for me. I'm a curse, a freak, I should be left to die. The other voice boomed into her ears. Oh God, you are the best. Kenny glanced down and saw a black, shiny substance oozing from her leg. She tried to brush it away, but her remaining arm would no longer respond. The substance slowly crept around her feet and then began moving up towards the rest of her body. Is this death? Is this what it's like? Or is my mind just losing itself? She could feel the slime oozing upwards, feel the hot, searing pain it left in its wake. Whatever else might be happening, she was still alive, and this was real. Come on, said the voice. Let it go. Kaini tried to ignore the voice and concentrate on the pain, but the newcomer would have none of it. Don't ignore me, sunshine. You're ready to give up, ready to die, so why not let me have it? Have what? Your body, come on, give it to me. Give it to me. I want to stand on the ground, feel the rain, taste the wind. The voice paused as if licking its lips. When it resumed, it was filled with mad, unabated joy. And I want to take your hands and use them to choke the goddamn life out of people. I want to tear out their throats and bathe in the blood just like before. What the fuck? In response, Kenny shifted her head and vomited. The warmth of it crept down her front and mingled with the pain of the encroaching black ooze. Are you a shade? Yeah, maybe. One of it. The slime reached her face, crept up past her nose, and slowly oozed into the socket of her missing eye. The moment it touched her brain, Kenny was struck by the most powerful sensation she'd ever felt in her life. It was ecstasy. She wanted to scream with delight, but all she could manage was a small whispered moan. Feels good, don't it? Asked the voice with a chuckle. Yo, what can I say? I know how to please the lady. Okay. Now give me that body. Come on, give me the body and I'll give you more of this feeling. It's a fair trade. A black lump began to protrude from Kenny's side, as if watched. It grew longer and thicker, eventually taking the form of her missing arm. I can see better, she thought. My eye must be growing back too. The slime reached up to envelop the rest of her face, but she managed to brush it away. Stop, she whispered, marveling at how she had regained her voice. Stop. The black ooze hesitated, as if considering this request, and quickly shimmered down her body before disappearing into a cloud of smoke. Ah, what the hell, Sunshine, screamed the voice. We had a deal. I thought you wanted to die. Grandma said, can't die yet. A brief image of her grandmother, bloodied and broken, flashed before her eyes. She saw this shade that had killed her and heard its mocking laughter, then closed her eyes and forced the image from her mind. Her whole body was quaking with rage. When she opened her eyes again, they burned bright red. That thing took my grandmother. I have to kill it before I die. Kaini glanced down and saw a mysterious pattern, the pattern of the shades burn itself into her left arm. Well, I'll be damned, said the voice cheerfully. Look at that, Sunshine. I think you and me are gonna be good friends now. Kaini stared intently at her arm. The more emotional she felt, the more the letter seemed ready to puncture her skin and begin infecting the rest of her body. The arm clearly had a will of its own now. I think I do remember this a little bit. Stop, gotta stop. Holding her left arm in her right, Kaini took a deep breath and tried to calm herself. Come on, don't fight it, pleaded the voice. Hate's my favorite dish and I'm hungry. Let it go. Feel the anger, burn with the fire of revenge, first for blood, then go out there and shut up and get the hell out of my body. Your body? Oh, that's rich, Sunshine, real rich. Like, why don't you just give up and die so I can have this body all to myself? What do you say? I bet those buddies of yours in the Eyrie would love to see you dead. Kaini grabbed a nearby shard of glass and tried to saw off the shade-infected portion of her side. Before she could, her darkened left arm grabbed her right wrist, crushing it. Kaini screamed and dropped the shard as the sound of bone crunching on her bone filled the air. Drop the shard of the sound of the bone crunching on bone filled the air. Stupid idiot girl, you're possessed now, Sunshine, and there ain't no going back. The voice laughed, a loud long wail that seemed to go on without end. Possessed? Yeah, possessed. You and me, we got what you might call a timeshare arrangement. Remember how folks used to think you were a freak? Well, wait till they get a load of you now. Kaini looked up, tears in her eyes. The sky seemed smaller somehow, darker. Is this because of that shade? Is this how they see the world? So, listen, purred the voice. Wait, I think I missed that. They said that they see the sky is dark, though? Was that? Okay. So, listen, purred the voice. I know this whole possession thing seems a bit sudden, but it ain't all bad. There's plenty in it for you, too. I'm a very powerful creature, Sunshine, and now that power belongs to you. You got enemies? People you want to kill? I can make that happen. That little fat kid who kept picking on you, that big old shade that squashed your granny, we'll wrap him up in their own assholes. Fucking right, okay. No more abuse for you, Sunshine. No more pain. Wait, said Kaini, you're a shade. Why would you help me kill another shade? What, you think I'm some kind of racist? Some killing snob? I don't give a good goddamn who you murder, honeypants. I just want to drink from the well. What? Kaini considered this as she struggled to her feet, the power of the shade coursing through her. The smoke from her house was drifting away with the wind, and she enjoyed the way the cool evening breeze felt on her new left arm. After a long pause, the voice spoke up again. So, how about it, you and me? We could have some good times together. Look, I'll even take care of the bloody part if you don't want. Fuck off, asshole, muttered Kaini. I'll handle the killing. Screamed the voice. Look at you go. Oh, Sunshine, we're gonna have so much fun. So listen, my name's Tyran. Tyran? And if you ever need me, I'll just be hanging out in this piece of meat you call a heart. Tyran. Okay, it's a new character, I think. Has it been mentioned? I don't think so. When I get to it, the more you kill, the more your heart turns rotten and sour. And I like rotten and sour. Kaini found herself nodding at the voice. Yeah, she said. Yeah, I think this can work. I'm gonna find that shade and I'm gonna strangle it with its own guts. And when I'm done, I'm gonna do the same to you, Tyran. Count on it. I've shit bigger than you, so good luck with that. Oh, and hey, one more thing. Right now, you and me are sharing this body, but if you ever run out of hate, if you ever, you know, go soft, then I'm gonna take over everything. So keep on killing, sunshine, and watch your back. The voice grew fainter and gradually faded away, fading to somewhere deep inside Kaine's herself. Kaine waited until she was sure the voice was gone, then waved her new left arm around a few times. It feels perfectly normal, she thought. It feels like mine. Desperately, she began poking and prodding at the new lib, determined to find something wrong with it. She didn't want it to feel normal. That would mean the creature inside her had already won. I am not a shade, I am Kaine. Repeating this mantra in her head, she slowly began digging through the rubble of her house, being careful to ignore a certain red-stained spot in the soil. Finally, after what seemed like an entirety of heartbreaking work, she found what she was looking for. It was the wreath of lunar tears. Though it had been through hell and back, the garland petals were as bright as ever. Kaine started to place it in her hair, then slowly lowered the wreath and stared at it. I'm sorry, Grandma. I'm so sorry. But I don't deserve to wear this anymore. I'm possessed, corrupted, a freak. And this time I don't think there's any going back. Holding the flowers to her heart, Kaine fell to the ground and sobbed. As night gradually lightened to dawn on the people of the Eyrie across to their daily lives, she remained in that position as if tears could somehow wash away the horror that now infected her world. God damn!
Stay alive! Stay alive!
Grandma.
Kaine, you gotta live! You gotta come back to us!
Oh, hey. Emil, you were the one calling me, weren't you?
You still recognize me?
Of course. I knew you right away.
Thank you, Kaine.
Welcome back, Kaine.
Wow, you grew up. So, how long has it been?
5 years.
And we're back,
Shit.
I think.
That's a long time. Any luck with Yona?
We are still no closer to finding her. We need a way to locate the Shadow Lord.
I believe we can ask the person
By
upstairs.
the way, this is for you.
Is that a lunar tear?
It's not as good as your grandmother's, but I tried.
How do we know this?
No, it's great. Thank you.
Huh. Okay.
Kaine waking from her long petrified sleep. Emil's unflagging kindness. Our reunion was a happy one, and we let it wash over us like rain. That is, until Devila and Popola had to go and ruin it all.
Yeah, we don't care how they think anymore.
Are you kidding me? You can't be serious!
Please try to understand. People are tired and scared, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have to bear the brunt of that.
This is crap, and you know it!
It's okay. We can sleep outside.
No one's sleeping outside. You and Kaine saved this village, and now they want to run you out?
People are afraid of us. And really, I understand. I mean, Look at me. As long as you're still with us, I can deal with it. Right, Kaine?
I'm used to sleeping outside.
But...
We'll see you later.
Sorry about this.
Okay, so not much change there.
What is the matter?
Kaine always sleeps outside. I never thought about that until just now. Never even occurred to me. Damn it.
We should turn in.
What?
I should apologize to Kaine and Emil, but what good would that even do?
I got a fire going, Kaine.
Wait, is that...
Campfires are weird. I'm so happy to get to talk to you again, Kaine.
I think this is new. I don't remember this.
Yeah, me too.
I tried everything I could think of to save you, you know. I polished you with a special cloth. I poured warm water over you.
Wait, you poured water on me?
Yeah, but it didn't really do much except make you all shiny.
Hey, Emil. Thanks for saving me.
I guess you noticed how I look different now.
I'm sorry, Emil. I'm sorry for all of it.
Well, I mean, this new form isn't all bad, you know? At least I can look at you when we talk, right? Hey, so why don't you tell me something about yourself?
I'm not very interesting. Sorry.
We just had like an hour worth of text about you. What do you mean you're not interesting?
Come on, I just want to know you better. Please?
Fine. This all happened when I was a kid. Before the whole shade possession thing. My body is... different. And when the villagers found out about it, they started treating me like a freak. But one person, my grandmother, accepted me just as I was. No matter how bad things got, she gave me the strength to keep going.
She's really special to you, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, hey! That gives me an idea. Since we cured your petrification, we should start looking for a way to cure your possession in my body. I know we can do it if we all work together. Heck, it'll probably be super easy.
Oh, Emil.
Let me guess. More warm water?
Okay, can we just forget I told you about that?
Wow, she never laughs, really. Well, you know, not McCat. Scary laugh. Are we gonna join? The flower wasn't in any of the Evelyn's books, so she said I could name it whatever I want. Maybe I'll name it after Perpsy.
Sleep well?
Sure.
And yet your red eyes tell a different tale. Don't be so hard on yourself, lad.
I need to go see Devila and Popola.
Very well.
Gold and moonflower seed. Okay.
What might that be?
It's Mom's diary.
Oh, I didn't even consider our parent.
I have not heard you speak much about your
Yeah,
mother.
like very, very briefly.
She got the black scroll and died when I was little.
My apologies for bringing it up.
It's all right. I can barely remember her face anymore. This is the only thing I have left of her. Reading it helps remind me of when we were still a family.
I see.
But the final entries get a little strange.
Oh?
In what way?
Well, here, take a look.
System data saved.
Say there. Can you not hear me?
Hello? What? Who
Why
the
are you standing about like a slack-jawed ninny?
Sorry. Felt like I was dreaming or something.
Sleeping on one's feet is quite the talent indeed. Come now, there's the door.
Right. Let's go.
What the fuck is happening? What? We're older? Proceed beyond this point and you'll be unable to save until the battle is over. No? Wait, what? Hold on. System data saved. Yeah, okay, I chickened out. But, what was that?
My word.
Something wrong?
I feel as if I've just awoken from a most
I know what you mean.
I'm so confused. I mean... Yeah, I mean, okay.
Yeah.
The world.
Oh, I think something was important there. The world of my recycled vessel or something like that. But yeah, why are we older? What? I mean, yeah, why not? This is the world of the recycled vessel. Okay, good thing I could read that. Hey, the music though. Is this like a trial of some sort? I'm getting like optional content vibes from this. Well, the music's pretty good. A little different from what I'm used to, but isn't this in where did we find this? The Shalloward's Palace, or it's the thing where the big rhino thing was chasing us, I think. Okay, maybe I should. Wow, that's a whole lot there. Do we just jump that? Hello? What the? Okay, we can just jump that. Wow, we are Okay. Was that it? Obtain the medical herb ×3. The Black Scroll, a lost destiny, a white book, a false truth. What? I feel like I'm on drugs right around a mansion now. Although this is crazy looking. We're in very yellow. Oh, there he is. Whoa, what's happened here? Yeah, the music's kinda... Oh, okay, are these to keep me going? I take it. Soldiers of Salt calling forth for White Death. They are the Legion, those who plunged. Can I get enough time to read one? It's not about salt and soldiers. I feel like it's like the Black Book loading screens where it's probably better if I don't... Well, you know, it seems to be a big lore... what's the word? Hints. Oh, this one. My goodness, the tracking is not up to speed with me today. Or I'm not up to speed with it more. Slowly losing this battle of attrition. As I say that. Obtain the one-handed sword, Fool's Embrace. Huh? The dragon's corpse brought death to the world, delivering them to... Now we got like Street Fighter music. I wonder how much damage this will do. Not as much as I actually thought. Wow, we're moving a lot quicker with this sword now. Oh, that probably would have killed me. Hey. Did we lose an eye? The black sickness stains the future. The journey to return to soulless fit. Okay, we gotta. Oh wow. That's a bit. Okay, that's a. Nice. Oh, I thought I was going to go to the store. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, and no. What is this? No. My years of Crush Bandicoot has paid off. Oh, okay. Hello. Hey. Nice. Obtained a Kabuki outfit. Okay, that seems to be the end of it. You earned 1,000 experience points. Okay. Is that like a challenge system? Can we enter another door? Okay, we can. You know what? I might just. Yeah, I might just leave this area for now. Although, I feel like we got a weapon, I think. And we got a word, I guess.
My word.
Something wrong?
I feel as if I've...
I know what you mean.
And like, why are we older? Fool's Embrace, I think this is it. Yeah, okay. Radio. Well, that was a lot. Am I allowed to save orders? Okay. Good to know. Yeah, I might just call it there for this part. That was a lot of talking. An awful lot of talking, and at least now we're sort of caught up on, I guess, what I thought this part would have been starting with, weirdly enough. But we did get a lot of Kaine backstory, and it does seem that we were getting new scenes, because I don't remember the scene of Kaine and Emil out in the camp. That might have happened, but I don't think it did. Or at least we weren't shown it. So hopefully we can get new additional stuff in this playthrough, or in this route even more. Yeah. So I guess I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.